Hey everyone, and welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Please.
Great. So today we're doing things a little differently. We're diving deep into just one source.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, just one single piece of French poetry.
Okay, color me intrigued.
I know, right?
Huh.
It might not be our usual style, but stick with us. Trust me, this poem is incredible. It really digs into this complex idea of a sense of duty, that feeling of obligation.
Yeah, I get you. That feeling you have to do something, even when it's tough.
Exactly. And this poem tackles it in such a powerful way, I just had to share it.
Well, let's hear it. Sometimes the most unexpected sources can offer the most insightful perspectives.
Absolutely. This one really got me thinking. Okay, so the poem is titled C'est parfait comme ça.
Okay, so what does that mean?
Well, it translates to it's perfect like that.
That's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The poem itself is anything but. It's full of uncertainty, struggle, even a sense of giving up. And yet, it ends with this declaration of perfection. It really made me wonder, how can something be perfect when it's so full of conflict?
Right, there's that tension, like how can those two things coexist?
Exactly. And to make it even more interesting, we don't actually know who wrote this poem or what inspired it.
Oh, wow, that's kind of cool. So we're going in blind.
Yeah, totally blind.
Yeah.
But it also means we get to just focus on the words themselves, without any outside baggage. So before we break it down, I want to share the first few lines in the original French, just to give you a feel for the language.
That's good.
Reads the first two lines of the poem in French. So in English, those lines translate to, I raise my hand and I give up. For posterity, I'm trying hard to explain what these four words mean.
Wow, okay. I mean, that's quite an opening. It's like, boom, right in your face, your hook from the first line.
Right. Talk about a powerful image. It makes you think, what are they giving up on? And why is it so important to explain it, even to people they'll never meet?
And that gesture, raising the hand, it's like surrender, but there's also a sense of purpose there, right? Like they're giving up, but they want to make sure everyone understands why.
Exactly. It's like this act of giving up is somehow crucial to understanding something much bigger. Something about life itself, maybe?
That's a great point. And that idea of understanding, or maybe the lack of it, that's a thread that runs through the whole poem.
Oh, totally.
It's like the speaker is wrestling with this sense of duty, this obligation, but they don't fully grasp what it means.
Yeah, it's like they feel compelled to do something but don't quite know why.
Right. And you see that in the next few lines. The speaker says they only understand the meaning through dreams.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, as if their understanding is kind of fleeting and uncertain, like a dream that fades when you wake up.
Makes you wonder about the nature of conviction, right? If even the speaker, who feels so strongly about this duty, doubts their own understanding.
Exactly. It challenges that idea of, having to be absolutely sure about something to believe in it.
That's such a good point. It makes me think about those times when I've felt really drawn to something, but also wasn't sure if I truly understood what it meant. Like, is this the right path?
Exactly. And then, to add another layer, the poem introduces this image of angels.
Angels. Wow, okay. What do you make of that?
I mean, whether they're literal angels or just symbols of something else, it's clear they represent something beyond the speaker's reach, something they're drawn to, but ultimately can't quite grasp.
It's that reaching out, but then pulling back, isn't it?
Yes, like there's a fear of what might happen if they fully embrace it.
Oh, totally. It's that internal struggle we all face sometimes.
Yeah, that feeling of being pulled in different directions, wanting to give up, but also feeling obligated to keep trying.
Oh, absolutely. It's so relatable.
And that's where the next stanza really takes us. You see the speaker's hand reaching out again, but this time it gets pulled back out of fear. There are tears, a feeling of uselessness. It's really heartbreaking.
It is. But it's also so incredibly human,
It is. And right when you think it can't get any more bleak, we get this idea of savoir de nécessité. It's a French term that means like a knowledge born out of necessity.
Oh, savoir de nécessité.
Yeah.
I like that. What does that mean in the context of the poem?
Well, it suggests that sometimes we're just compelled to act, even when we don't have all the answers, even when it seems pointless.
It's like that feeling in your gut that tells you you have to do this, even if you don't know why.
Exactly. Like an inner compass that guides us, even if we can't always see where we're going.
That really resonates with me. It's happened to me so many times in my life.
And it's that feeling, that savoir de nécessité, that brings us to the final stanza. It's where the speaker says something so paradoxical, I know that I don't know what I'm saying.
Wow. It's like they're acknowledging the absurdity of the whole situation, right? They feel compelled to explain, but they also realize they don't have the answers.
Exactly. And yet the poem concludes with such certainty. Et c'est parfait comme ça. It's perfect like that.
It's amazing, isn't it? It started with surrender and now ends with acceptance.
And what's so fascinating is that the poem doesn't try to resolve that tension, it just embraces it. It suggests that maybe true understanding doesn't always need absolute certainty.
It's kind of freeing in a way.
It is, because maybe there's a certain beauty, a certain integrity in accepting that mystery, in just living with the questions.
That's a really powerful thought. We began with this idea of giving up, and now we've come full circle to a place of acceptance.
And that's why this poem is so incredible. It doesn't give us easy answers, but it does get us thinking. It prompts us to reflect on our own experiences with duty, with uncertainty, with those times when we're called to act, even when we don't understand why.
Yeah, it really leaves you with a lot to ponder. What about you? Have you ever felt that pull of duty, even when you were unsure? And did you find any sense of freedom, any perfection in leaning into that uncertainty? Think about it. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. See you next time.
See you then. Bye.
Bye.